dear colleagues, the idea of Russia's foreign policy, I will speak a few words about this as well. As a conclusion, we should provide peace and safety for our citizens, for the development of our country. Russia has its own interests. Of course we do. The interests we defend and we are going to uphold within the international law, under international law, as it's done by other nations in the world. And if someone refuses to understand this obvious thing and they don't want to engage in a dialogue and they opt for looking down upon us, Russia will have a way to defend our position. At the same time, unfortunately, regrettably, everyone is getting used to the practice of the politically motivated unlawful sanctions in economy, to the attempts to impose their will to the others. But such practice is reborn now, is changing into something much more dangerous. What I mean is the fact that has become known of the attempt to organize a coup in Belarus and the assassination of the president of the country. And even such blatant actions, they are not condemned by the so-called Western nations. It seems like no one even notices this. Everyone pretends that nothing is going on. But listen, you can say whatever you want about the president of Ukraine, Yanukovych, or about Maduro in Venezuela. But once again, you can have whatever opinion you want about Yanukovych, who was almost killed and who was overthrown via an armed coup. You can have whatever opinion you want about the political views of the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, but organizing, plotting a coup, planning a political assassination of the leaders of the country, well, it's too much. And just listen to the admissions made by the participants of the coup that Minsk was supposed to be sieged, including the city infrastructure, shutting off the entire power infrastructure of the capital of Belarus. It means that, actually, it means that they were preparing to the massive cyber offensive action. How else you can call that? So you can't do it with switching just one lever. And it's not for nothing our Western counterparts are refusing or denying to hear to the Russian suggestions to have a dialogue in the cybersecurity. We have suggested it a number of times, but they avoid even discussing the matter. And what would happen if the attempt of the state coup that really happened in Belarus, because everything was going this way? How many people would have suffered then? What would have been destiny of Belarus? No one is thinking about that. Like no one was thinking about the fate of Ukraine when coup d'etat happened in that country. And unfriendly activities towards Russia are not stopping either. Some countries has made it a habit, with every reason, and most often without any reason, to talk about Russia. It's like a sporting competition for them, a new kind of sport for them. Who is going to be the loudest speaking against Russia? And we are trying to be reserved in this regard. I'm not even trying to be sarcastic. We are really modest in this regard. Usually we don't even respond to these unfriendly efforts, but we don't even respond to the rudeness, blatant rudeness. We want to keep good neighborly relations with all the participants of the international efforts. But we see what's happening in the real world. They are picking on Russia here and there without any reason. And it's like around a large tiger, you can see all those smaller hyenas. It's like from the Rudyard Kipling's novels. They are just being yes men to their leader. Kipling was truly a great writer. We want to keep good relations with all the participants of the foreign policies, including those that we are not really having good relations with in the recent past. We don't want to burn bridges, but if someone sees our good intentions as indifference or weakness, and they want to burn the bridges or blow up the bridges from their side, they should remember this. Russia's answer will be asymmetrical, it will be quick, and it will be tough. Everyone who is coming up with the provocations that are a threat to our interests will regret about things they do, the way they didn't regret about a lot of things in a while. And I have to say this. We have enough patience, we have enough responsibility, we have enough professional qualities, we have enough confidence in our righteousness, and we have enough common sense when we making any decisions. But I hope no one would think about crossing the line in relations with Russia. And we will define where this line is by ourselves in every individual case. And I can't help but mention today, as it's usual the case in my annual addresses to the Federal Assembly, about strengthening of the Russian armed forces is an continuing, ongoing process, and we will pay special attention to the development of military education. It will be made both in military institutions and also in the military educational centers within the civil colleges. By 2024, the share of the modern military equipment will be almost 76%, which is a good notion. And in the nuclear armed forces, it will be more than 88%. We already have on battle duty, the state-of-the-art hypersonic missile complexes of intercontinental called Avangard, laser battle complexes Peresvet, and the 1st Regiment, fully equipped, fully armed with intercontinental ballistic missiles, Sarmat, will be delivered according to the plan by the end of 2022. We are going to increase the number of the attacking aircraft with Kinjal missiles, ships armed with the hypersonic weapons, Kinjal and Caliber missiles. We are going to deliver in the near future hypersonic missiles Zircon. And in full correspondence to our prior plans, we are working on the other state-of-the-art battle complexes, including Poseidon, Burevestnik, and other systems. And being a leader in building the state-of-the-art weapon systems and developing the modern nuclear forces, Russia is suggesting to our counterparts to discuss the matters concerning the strategic weapons, matters regarding strategical safety and stability, coexistence in the safety that would grasp not only traditional weapons, intercontinental ballistic missiles and heavy bombers and submarines, but all the offensive and defensive systems that are able to solve strategic goals no matter what their actual equipment are. The 5 nuclear powers have special responsibility in this regard. Hopefully, the initiative to meet within the 5 leaders of the Permanent Security Council members will be implemented as soon as we can, as soon as we will resolve the epidemiological situation. Russia is open for the wide cooperation. We have consistently supported the strengthening of the key role in international issues, the key role of the United Nations organizations. We strive to support the UN role in the settlement resolving the local conflicts, to stabilize the situation in Syria, to start the international dialogue in Libya. Russia has played a major role in stopping the armed conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh. And based on this mutual respect, we're trying to build our ties with the vast majority of the countries in the world, in Asia, in Latin America, in Africa, with a lot of countries in Europe as well. And we have consistently developed the context with our partners in SCO, in BRICS, in the CIS, with our allies in CSTO.
We have a lot of projects that unite us within the Eurasian Economic Union. We aim to improve our economies, improve the living of our people. We have a lot of new areas to explore, such as transportation, logistics, and corridors that would unite our countries, bind us together. This is going to be the backbone of the large Eurasian cooperation framework. This framework is already here. We are aligning and harmonizing our work with the work of other countries. Integration is a priority. It's just not theory. This is practice. We've already done a lot to ensure that we can achieve our national goals. I started with the health